Hey, what's up out there? You see the title? Let's get into it. I have been waiting patiently to talk about this. These thoughts and ideas have been marinating for at least a year and a half. And now I can finally release it all together and go ahead and put it out there for y'all. You see the title, Poor People Love Capitalism. They do. They love it. So I want you guys to sit back, hear where I'm coming from, listen to all my notes. I even got a story in here for y'all. So let's get into it. What is capitalism? Capitalism is an economic system in which monetary goods are owned by individuals or companies and workers earn wages. Okay? Another definition for an economic system, that is, it is a system for dealing with money and wealth. In a capitalist country, citizens, not governments, own and run companies, also known as a free market, you know, entrepreneurship and things like that. So I want you guys to think about the idea of, let's go conspiracy theory with it. You know how they say it's only a few families who run the whole world. The billionaires, trillionaires, those people who sit at the top and they fund the government secretly, because really a lot of people in government make low wages, like 100,000 or less, 200,000 or less, 300,000 or less. But they line their pockets on the side by accepting money from these capitalistic people who have access to capital, wealth, and all of these things. Okay? Think Amazon, Tesla, think big, think oil companies, think the Rothschilds, think that. Okay? Think that big. And this is where we get the ideas like, oh, the government was paid off, or the police was paid off, or this was paid off, or these are the people who are running this world, and they are running what we consume. They're running what we see on media, everything. They're running it because they are the ones funding it. That privately owned prison, get your peace today. I think Kanye said that. That privately owned prison, get your peace today. So if there's a higher up that owns a private prison and he needs bodies in that prison to make sure that it stays afloat, he will then take his ad dollars, he will then take his money and go sit down with the head of a record entertainment label, which is more higher ups, and they will say, hey, I'll give you 100 million every year if you can keep producing and funding artists, music artists who promote death, destruction, violence, whatever, right? So then this big corporation who's sitting on about 100 million of budget to push this new artist, they find it. What they do for this poor, impoverished artist who already has a capitalistic mindset, they will take them from making 20,000 a year, probably not making nothing, but they'll take them from making 50,000 a year and say, we like you. We see your gifts. We see that you're talented. We like you. And we believe in you. We believe in your messaging. We believe in your voice. We believe in you. And find them let's say fund them with $10 million. Let's say they give them on a signing deal, give them $2 million. Oh my God, she just signed a $2 million deal. Oh my God, she just signed a $5 million deal. And then the other 5 million or the other 7 million, whatever, is used into the marketing and the pushing. And because they already have connections, this label already has connections, they're able to, at a low cost, just connections, send them on the such and such talk show, send them to the podcast, their Instagram, blow their Instagram up. It's like they press the button so everything start working, so that this message is being sent through the algorithm, right? Again, this is all like things, moving pieces. This is all to keep them in control. This is all that. Honestly, I didn't even expect to go here. This ain't even a part of my notes, but I'm painting a picture for you guys. I'm setting up the play for you guys as to what you're seeing on the day to day. Okay? Bear with me and stay with me. So, bada boom, bada bing. That's what you need to know about capitalism. That's what you need to think about capitalism, is the higher ups at the top running everything. Why are they running everything? Because they have the money. What does everyone need? Everyone needs money. I don't care who you are. People are compromising their values, ethics, more everything. They are literally compromising everything just so they can make $1 million a year. So they can make 5 million a year. So they can make 400,000 a year. So that they can make 100,000. It doesn't matter. You're a pawn in the game. Their reasoning, the reasoning behind them blowing this artist up, is because they want to use their influence. They want this woman to influence other women to be promiscuous and to participate in Moloch worship and to get rid of their child. This is taking some dark turns, but it gotta come out. Get rid of your child. This is the programming. Forget them kids. Forget them kids. Get rid of it so that they have more of what they need. On the other hand, they are putting in position a guy who is recklessly living so that he can influence other men to recklessly live, so that they can be sent to those privately owned prisons with no way of escape to get the book thrown at them. And now that you're in legal captivity because the accuser has accused you and found you guilty legally, hear it with your spiritual ears too. Now you're legally in trouble. So now they have rights to you, and now they can get free labor out of you. Instead of actually paying you what you're worth because you're really talented, you're a really bright fella, you're a really bright fella sitting in that prison rotting away doing slave labor legally. You're here with me. So I said all that just to let you guys know, give you an answer as to why these celebrities or influencers are promoted so high, and given so much, and we believe in you. They don't care about you like that. You're an agenda. You're a business. You're a marketing campaign. Or they may commission someone on social media. These, y'all see these mukbangs and these like Food videos where the food is like ridiculous or whatever. They're being incentivized because the health organization and the hospitals need patients. Okay, hear me, hear me. They want to fund the pharmacia. So they're promoting all this artery clogging food so that you will go and indulge in this insatiable appetite so that the rich get richer. Because every second somebody's buying some food, every second somebody's at McDonald's, every second somebody's at wherever they eat from, every second. If they can put enough imagery in your face to make you hate yourself, you will buy. I believe Tiffany Buckner said this. Rejection is a very expensive wound because now you hate yourself, you reject yourself. So now you're putting a lot of money into vanity. I'm so dramatic, but these are different areas I need you to pick up on. I need you to hear this. I need you to know this. It's a $1 billion industry of beauty, consumerism, all these things to fight aging and to make you look more attractive and this and that and other. Meanwhile, you're trying to be so attractive all the while listening to music and seeing things online and media that is pulling you away from your counterpart. So the counterpart you were supposed to be with, you don't think they're good enough or you don't think you're worthy enough for them. So it pulls y'all apart. So now that you're apart, it never really feels right with anybody else. So now you're here and you're here and you're here and you're here. And you're here and you're here and you're here and you're here and you're here. And you done slid that snail up and down every street. And you done slung that cinnamon stick all around the milkshake. And you still can't find nobody. And you're still wearing a mask. And you're still chasing rejection and poverty mindset. And you're still doing all these things because they've ripped you away from your counterpart and made you go deeper into vanity, like, what's wrong with me? And now they just, these are all agendas. These are all agendas. Okay? Next, poor people love capitalism. The poverty and lack mindset is rooted in greed. Capitalist minded people hoard money and resources, even if they have more than enough, like the actual powers that be that I just talked about, and they actually do have access to billions. This is poor spiritual hygiene. This is um moral bankruptcy. This is moral bankruptcy. The money and the capital that they are hoarding is to fill a deep void that cannot be mended. They have insatiable appetites. You know, many poor-minded people love the rich and famous. They idolize them and they put them on a pedestal and support their capitalistic ways. Even if these ways are hurting them in the end, even if these ways are crushing them, even if these ways are causing heavy oppression towards them, it doesn't matter. Even if they're the very ones who have to work harder, it does not matter. It's because they relate to these people on an energetic level. They're connected energetically. Oh my God. I love that Cat Williams on the Club Shay Shay interview in 2024 that went viral. I love that in that interview he said, it's not about color. It's not about rich versus poor. It's about God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side.
Another black dude. Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. Period.
Now, you may be thinking, how can we look at an impoverished person who gets government assistance, waiting on their tax refund? I feel you. Waiting on their tax refund money, and then compare them to someone who has an offshore bank account sitting at 100 million. How can we compare these two people? What do they actually have in common? I'll tell you. It's greed, destruction, compromise, control, selling out their people, rebellion. It's all spiritual and it's mental. These poor people that we speak of, they wouldn't hesitate to do the same thing. They would do the same thing that unknown billionaire does if they were in their position, because it's a spirit. It's not the person. It's a principality. That same billionaire who uses slave labor and underpays their staff. The reason they do this, why do they underpay? The reason they do this is to keep control. And they are able to scale the ceiling of your success. Does that sound familiar? Yes. There are Jezebels who are thirsty for power and control and money in the hood and in the Maldives, in Dubai, in very high places. This spirit does not discriminate. Its purpose is control and oppression. Control and oppression. Okay? So, and when I said like these people sitting in high places, some of these people ain't even human. Like, yeah. That's the tea for another day. If you want to talk about that, let me know. That's tea for a whole nother day, baby. It's a whole nother day. This mindset though, it's binding and oppressive in nature. This is why your fellow poor person is oppressive to their very own people. It's the crab mentality. These are the people that say they can do whatever they want with their money. Like if somebody bring up capitalism, or if somebody be like, oh man, you should be helping the poor, or you should be doing charity and this, that, and the other. They be like, they can do whatever they want with their money, or we don't need a raise. We don't need a raise. We don't need a raise. The same people, that's crazy in itself to say we don't need a raise, but they won't necessarily say it outright. They'll say it indirectly. Like somebody may say, oh man, we need money, da da da, and they in their mind it's like, well, it's enough, and like it's that type of thing. And some of them will flat out say like, no, we good where we at, right? We don't need a raise, we make enough. Meanwhile, they on a payment extension. They got designer clothes on layaway and haven't been on a vacation in 3 years. These are the people that's saying these things, like they can do whatever they want. If it was me, I wouldn't help either, you know. I remember it was a story came out about celebrity, and he didn't help his family member start up this business or something, and everybody was like, yeah, because da 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 da, whatever reasoning, whatever. I got a theory about that too, but whatever. So yeah, and just the comments just showed the pure hatred that people have against each other. Like, no, I ain't giving them 1,500. No, I ain't giving them $3,000. No, I ain't doing that. They don't even they don't care. They don't do this, that. Granted, use your discernment. No, you're not called to give money everywhere. But it's like you're already living a wicked lifestyle. It's not like you're super intentional about like being this moralistic person. Like 3,500 compared to 35 million, which they actually have hundreds of millions. They're actually called a billionaire. So it's like $5,000 to a family member for their get rich quick scheme or whatever versus 100 million. Do what you want. You know that's wrong. Morally, that's like wow. But because people fantasize, I'm here to tell you right now, people fantasize. Millions and millions of people fantasize about making it big, becoming a millionaire, dissing people, flashing their money on people, stunting on people. This elitist mindset, like you can't sit with me. I just make too much money. Like I just make too much money. Like I'm just that girl. Like and they cannot wait. Like literally people fantasize about getting this revenge. I don't think y'all know how many people possess this capitalistic mindset because they admire capitalists. That's why. And meanwhile, these capitalists don't even care about you. I swear to you, like once once they reach a certain level of threshold of money, um, they compromise humanity for numbers. It's not about humanity anymore. It's about the bottom line. It's about the bottom line. Okay, so you know, yeah, these people saying that they don't need a raise. They haven't been on vacation in 3 years, and they forced to work a double. They neck, they knee, they back popping out of place when they walk. It's eat up, eat up. DW40. You need a month off, baby. You need a month off. You need to replenish yourself. But these are the people that's like, no, uh-uh. That's bondage. That's spiritual bondage. Okay? Okay? And it's sad, you know. There are actual capitalists who own trillion-dollar companies. And they refuse to take the day off because that will cost them 500,000 in one day. Like they can't do like a company wide day off. Like everybody take one day off because they're like, no, that'll affect my bottom line. 500K in one day. You could stand to lose 500K. You can stand it, my brother. You can't actually. You can stand it. And this is why they're pushing for robots so hard because robots aren't going to affect their bottom line. So they think. But robots are not going to affect their bottom line in their eyes. So this is why they treat you like a robot. This is why capitalists treat you like a robot. And you know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, um, I'm telling you, these people with all this money, like the actual capitalists who have the capital, they act like that's the worst thing that could ever happen is like losing money. Newsflash, the worst thing that could ever happen is that second death. The worst thing that ever happened to the prideful and the haughty and the arrogant and the insolent is that second death in the lake of fire. because you oppressed the needy. You looked at the homeless with disgust and contempt. And you made the phrase, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. When in actuality, they have put more time and stock and effort into your business than their actual life. So they can't pull themselves up by their bootstrap. They're in slavery. They're in unspoken slavery. They're in covert slavery. So they can't really pick themselves up because the game is rigged. Okay? And some people look at the homeless and say, "Shoo, I need help too." Now we're talking about the average everyday capitalist. We're talking about, the people that make 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. These people. Oh, and newsflash, I already put this on my channel maybe like a year ago or something like that. Keep waiting. It's gonna come a time where if you make $300,000 or less, you're gonna be considered poor. You're going to be considered poor. So you are haughty and high-minded. I make 100,000. I make 80,000. I'm doing well for myself. You may, and that's fine. And again, none of this is to put you guys down. This is just an all eye-opening type of conversation. None of this is. I'm glad that you making what you make. I'm glad that you feel me, that you doing good for yourself. That's amazing. That's what we're supposed to do. But I'm just telling you, if you really feel like that's what makes you you, there's gonna come a time where you're going to be looked at as poor because you make $100,000. You won't be able to look at the poor and scoff because they're going to be scoffing at you. Okay? Just want to let that be known. So we have to dethrone money out of our hearts. We have to dethrone the love of money. Okay? We have to. And now, back to the average capitalist. Well, not that much capital. Okay, so you looked at the homeless. I see this all the time on the internet, little funny post or whatever. And you say, and they asking you for help, and you say, I need help too. I'm poor too. You know, but you just got paid this Friday and your check was $800. And yeah, you gotta pay your bills, but you never gave your first fruits. You didn't give $80 to the homeless or just whatever. You just, you know what I mean? You don't, it's no faith there. It's just like, well, I need help too. As you turn around and you go buy $100 bottle at the club for the third time in 1 month, or you need to enjoy your life. You know what I mean? I just need to enjoy my life. Or the person that just spent $150 on a big bag of weed. You know, so you know they can do whatever they want with this money. You're not obligated to help nobody, right? Right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. You got free will. You got free will. But unfortunately, a lot of people are using their free will to do evil and to destroy themselves and lead the whole community and society as a whole into more darkness. You're spending your money on OnlyFans, spending your money on entertainment, spending your money on crazy stuff. Like, but then have the nerve to be like, I need help too. I need help too. Again, this is no judgment. This is no judgment. This is no judgment. This is just a wake-up call to ask you to reevaluate your intentions and the intentions of your heart. Because honestly, a lot of deep down, a lot of this is just like rejection wounds and poverty wounds and things like that. So yeah. So once you're able to fill that void in your soul, like I was talking about above, once you're able to fill that void, then you're gonna be on your way to success. Okay? Okay. pure selfishness. It ain't to piss you off, but I'm telling you, as long as you feel something, that's cool. Okay? Now, I'm going to break this video right here, and we're going to do a part 2. Part 2. And I'm going to get into a story time. A real life story time of greed in action. That is what the next part of it is. Greed in action. Capitalism in action. Okay? We gotta do better.